AMC stock is about to close out the trading day up 10%. You are about to see something that you have not seen in a very long time, and that has to do with shorts covering. Now, why do shorts ultimately cover on their short positions? It's because they were wrong. Fundamentally speaking, AMC is improving. The apes are holding strong, and potentially the March 14th vote might get delayed. All of this spells bad news for the hedge funds, not to mention the box office seems to be hitting a fresh new record, at least for the films that are currently going to theaters. Guys, we have a lot to talk about in a very short amount of time. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and we do have a sponsor for this video. It is myself. Guys, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. Just put out a fresh new earnings trade today that I think could make us some money. So if you guys want to be a part of it, link down below in the description of this video. We keep it very inexpensive, so pretty much everyone is able to join that if you do want to be a part of it. So first things first, enough of that BS. Let's get into this video on a technical basis, guys. AMC looking very strong. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I want to give you guys the rundown of everything else. And first, I want to start with some of these box office numbers that are helping to fuel this 10% rally in AMC that we are seeing today. Now, this is about 5 times better than what the S&P 500 is doing. Over 5 times better than what the NASDAQ is doing on the day. So it's showing a lot of strength. So this 10% positive day, in my opinion, would be comparable if like the NASDAQ was up 2% and AMC was up 20%. So relatively speaking, this 10% move is really a lot stronger than what you would think because the markets are down so much today. And that's important to point out. It's all relative. So a 10% move today is out of this world. Now, I want to start with this. AntMan and the Wasp did better than expectations. It had a domestic box office of 104 million, about 10 million higher than what we were expecting, and 223 million worldwide. So even more second tier movies are doing phenomenal at the box office relative to their expectations. Now, what is probably fueling AMC stock even more today than that is Avatar: The Way of Water overtakes Titanic as the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time. Keep in mind, these other 2 top movies, right? Avatar #1 came out in 2009. Titanic came out well before that. So you're breaking records that you have not seen broken in well over 10 years. And that is showing people are going to movies. They are likely spending a lot of money. And AMC is the top movie theater chain in the world. They are going to benefit the most from these films going to theaters. And fun fact, you have about 35% more films going to theaters in 2023 than you had in 2022. So you thought 2022 was the year of the uprising for AMC fundamentals. It looks to be 2023 is going to be a much better fundamental year. Now, if you were a hedge fund with a short position over the last 2 years now, you did not expect people to head back to movie theaters in the way that they have. You would have not expected AMC to take the initiatives that they have taken over the past couple of years. This all bodes very well for AMC investors, and for those shorts, it puts them in a very bad position because right here and right now, if AMC can get back to a positive EBITDA position, well, you're substantially in danger of getting squeezed out of your short positions. And considering you have earnings in 1 week on February 28th, it puts the shorts in a very bad position. So I don't necessarily think they are covering here today, but I do think you are going to get some option activity to kind of hedge out the risk. Because after all, like I reported to you guys in the last video, I strongly think that hedge funds are using options, specifically the puts, to buy them and report that they have actually covered on their short positions, or report that they never had a short position to begin with. If you bought the short position and the option at the same time, in theory, you would never even have to report that said short position because you have the options to cover that. In reality, you are a lot more net short than you are neutral or obviously net long. So I do think the short interest is likely 35 to 40%. I think this could be the beginning of a short squeeze. So there you have that. On top of it, if things couldn't get better, you are seeing this. AMC faces class action requests to delay March 8th vote. Now, you are seeing some pension funds actually going out and it's trying to get this delayed or just to see it not happen in general, which is very interesting, a little bit different than your retail investors going out and trying to subpoena AMC or sue them or whatever else. You're actually seeing people with more money, like pension funds, billions and billions of dollars, trying to get this not to go through, basically saying AMC has been using corporate loopholes to try to pass initiatives such as this one on March 14th that we are voting on to kind of gain for the company and not necessarily the investors of the company. So hopefully that makes some sense. Both of these factors, the box office and this potential delay of the March 14th vote, is helping AMC rally today, and I think will be the foundation of this short squeeze to come. Ultimately, it's the fundamentals. If you shorted just what's a good example? Tesla, or you shorted another company that used to be bad, call it 2 years ago, or not in such a strong position, and now they are. I mean, you can compare that to a lot of other companies. I like to say Crocs, that went from 200 million in revenue in 2020 to now over 900 million in revenue per quarter. It would have been hard to make a short thesis based off of that growth. And that's kind of what you're seeing with AMC stock. So I think that is very exciting. Now let's get into the whole FTD situation. This has been something I have been highlighting for you guys over the past couple of videos because I think it's important to fully know what is happening with AMC. And these failure to delivers have never been consistently on a day-to-day basis increasing and staying in the millions of share range. Really ever. I mean, this brief period right here, about a 2-week period, you did see something similar to what we're seeing now, but what you're seeing now has been happening for months, and the FTDs never really went to zero besides one day, and that was December 7th. And I think a lot of it has to do with hedge funds trying to cover up some of those short positions. So like if you guys seen the last video, I think the real short interest of AMC is in between 35 and 40%, not to mention other things that are happening. I think that's just the straight up short interest if you take out those options and the hedge funds availability to kind of use a loophole, right? It's a loophole. Let's call it for what it is, to try to hide that short interest, try to hide those short positions. Now for this week, today, you're seeing about 2.5 million shares that need to be bought back per the T+35 settlement time. 2 million FTDs tomorrow, the day after that 1.5 million, and the day after that, which will be Friday, at 1.4 million. And then the following week, like I said, you have in between 2 and 3 million FTDs that come due every single day. Wednesday, you have 3.2 million. Thursday, 3 million, and on Friday, almost 3 million FTDs. So really towards the back half of next week, things are going to get wildly crazy with AMC. Now, AMC does report earnings on February 28th. That is going to be next Tuesday. So I think that is definitely going to be a big day. You have 2 million FTDs that do come due on the day AMC does report earnings. And as of right now, people are expecting AMC to beat their earnings estimates, and this is from Zach consensus estimates, and they tend to be pretty reliable. Now, AMC does typically beat on earnings, but in this market environment that we are in 2023, it's different than 2022, whereas if the company was just unprofitable, you could short the company. They're not going to go up, 20, 30% on earnings. This is a different market environment. Whereas if you're trending to positive territory and you're seeing growth year over year and month over month or quarter over quarter, that's all that you need to see a rally. Is really even just boil it all down. Forget all of that. If you get good guidance from a company on earnings, that is enough to keep it at least neutral or keep it from not going down. If you get really good guidance, that's what is sending these stocks up 10 to 20%. And I think you're going to get all of that and hopefully some more surprises coming on earnings that will squeeze shorts out of those short positions. Now, Let's take a look at the Ortex data. Go ahead and give this page a bit of a refresher. Take a look at the cost of borrow rates and the short interest. So as of right now, cost of borrow average of 861.5%. Cost of borrow max remaining the same all day at 955%. Cost of borrow minimum at a measly 1%. Interactive brokers, we do not have any updates as far as the shares available or the cost of borrow rates, but I would imagine given the cost of borrow average and cost of borrow max, almost 900% a piece. If you average it out, it is 900%. I would say the interactive brokers is 400 to 500% cost of borrow rates, and that is in and of itself going to put pressure on those shorts. Now, AMC is still on the threshold securities list, like we've talked about many times. When you do have this kind of option activity, it's not a huge surprise. It's not a huge shocker that we're getting so many FTDs that need to become due every single day. So I think that is very exciting, and AMC just is showing a lot of support on this rally. You've been about 10% positive here on the day, even to kind of get down to the close of today. You're seeing a lot of resilience, but it is very volatile. It is very back and forth, but it's been around 10% positive for the entire day. Now today you're seeing 248 orders totaling $36.18 million, positive order value of 7%. And that goes along the same lines of what I've been saying. They're using these ultra bearish put positions to really make it look like that they have covered on their short positions or never had a short position, and that is making the positive order value 7% on the day, whereas AMC is up 10%. That just logically does not make any sense to me. So that does prove more credibility to this theory that I have, at least, that shorts are hiding their short interest, that the last thing they want heading into a potentially bullish earnings or potentially bullish event after March 14th to make it look like the short interest is 35, 40, 45%. That's the last thing they want to happen. Now, one of the most exciting things I see on the day is actually this downtrending line of resistance. We talked about this in the last video, but you are above this here today and holding a lot of support, like I said, ever since you broke above this earlier in the trading day. You have not come down below this, and you did get a bullish indicator as of just the other day. And that is FSTO, bullish indicator on Friday. AMC is now up 11% on the day. As long as we can hold this downtrending level of resistance, this line right here that, granted, you have only been above for a couple of days since the June 2022 rally. It's really served as a resistance level. But now you're kind of squeezing the stock, right? It's getting a lot closer to the support level, and right now this was really the make it or break it first couple of days of this week, whereas you were either going to break down under this support level at about 530 or you were going to break above this resistance level that we just talked about. So now that we are above this, I think you can start to get a lot more bullish momentum, and we might have to revise our price target, especially if tomorrow the technicals do hold true and the stock does continue to rally. You could easily start to see $8, $9 by the end of this week if you continue at this current pace, and if the markets continue to kind of have a bullish skew towards AMC like you're seeing here today, guys. So that is going to do it for this video. I think it is long enough. Thank you guys for watching, especially if you made it to the end of this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time as well, link down below in the description of this video. One of those trades typically can pay for that cost on a monthly basis for years, guys. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.